Do you guys want to win some free V-Bucks? If so, all you have to do is make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, turn on the notification bell, leave a like on the video, and comment down below saying free V-Bucks. Good luck guys. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Stokesy and welcome to today's Fortnite tip and trick video. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys the best 9 ways, or the top 9 tips I should say, to help you guys improve as a player in Fortnite Battle Royale. Now these tips, you can, if you implement all of the tips together along with my other 5 tips on how to win more games in Fortnite Battle Royale, then you'll be on your way to definitely becoming a much better player and overall seeing yourself winning a lot more games, whether that be in solo, duos or even squads. Now this video guys can reach 10 likes, I will make another video, another tip and trick video on building strategies, building different structures and which structures are better for certain situations and why you should build them and all different stuff for like editing or other stuff. So if this video can reach 10 likes again, just as my last like goal for this video, then I will get started on making that video to teach you guys how to build better structures and why you should build certain ones in certain situations. But anyway, on today's video. So for the first tip I can give you guys is to become a better player is actually just to drop into highly populated player areas. So these being Tilted Towers, Dusty Divot, Pleasant Park. These are really high player populated zones, especially towards the start of the game. These are places where everyone's going to be dropping. So the reason why, you're probably thinking, well, if I'm new starting off or if I'm trying to improve and I'm dropping the player high populated zones where there can be a lot of people and the chance of loot is going to be split between everyone there, sure, that's going to be quite hard to actually improve. Well, you'd think that, but the more you play in high populated zones, so Dusty Divot, Tilted Towers are the two which I primarily drop at if I'm looking at trying to get a high kill game or if I'm just looking at just trying to get kills in general. The reason being is the more gunfights you get into and the more like engagement you take, the more you're going to learn and the more situations you're going to be able to like play in. So the reason being is if you're dropping in low populated zones, you're 9 times out of 10 you're not going to get very many gunfights and you're not really going to be able to improve your gun skills, your building, your awareness, all these different sort of places, all the different sort of things. And dropping into high player populated zones will definitely do that. So if you're looking for a good one to drop into, I'd probably recommend Tilted. Just if you're playing them like duos or squads. If you're playing solos, I'd recommend Dusty or Pleasant, as these will allow you to get more loot for yourself. And if you're playing as a team, these sort of places, Dusty and Pleasant, is you have to split up between your team, so oftentimes you can not really get that much loot for yourself. But for solo, Dusty and Pleasant definitely. For squads and duos, I'd recommend Tilted. So on to the second tip to help you guys become a better player in Fortnite Battle Royale, that is learn how to build. Now I quickly mentioned building and stuff like that, but building simple 1x1s, it can go a long way, definitely high advantage which will come with building. If you don't learn how to build, you're not going to be able to improve as a player, because building in Fortnite Battle Royale is an essential part of the game. It's one of the key things which separates Fortnite Battle Royale as a game from other Battle Royale games either such as PUBG or H1Z1 or any other games which are in the Battle Royale genre. One of the reasons why building is so important, obviously high advantage. You can use it as cover, you can then use your shields, you can then heal up. You can attach launch pads so you can get to enemy positions easier. You can even make trap towers, which if you want I can do a video on that, so just comment down below if you want a video on trap towers or anything like that. But definitely learning how to build is going to be a key component to improving as a player within Fortnite Battle Royale. I am stuttering a lot, I apologise, it is currently 20-3, but you know, I gotta get on with the video. So next tip, this is going along with the building aspect, but it's actually its own individual thing. When you're building staircases going up, if you build a wall on the end so it faces down towards the ground, what this will do is it will prevent the enemies from shooting down your staircases, which would in turn mean you can get a much higher position quicker, and then you can actually just build from there, build either a 1x1 up, or you can get the high advantage without you having to worry about them shooting down your staircase. So this is quite simple. If you just run up, if you start building a staircase, the second you move up it, pull out your wall and look probably towards the top end of it, and you'll see that it appears at the very end facing down towards the ground, so it's not blocking your pathway up. So then you can just do that up all the way up until you find the point where you want to just stop and you can take the gunfight. But this is definitely a very key part of when you're building staircases going up. It will definitely help you out a lot, and it will make sure that you don't get shot down as quickly. So the next tip I can give you guys is regarding your movement, and that is actually just to learn the movement of the game. So jumping around, like moving around, all that other stuff, you're going to want to learn that pretty well, because the more fluent your movement is, the more like the game will just feel easier, if that makes any sense. So when you're moving around, if your movement's not very fluent, if it's quite like clunky and you're moving and stopping and turning and then going off again, one, you'll be an easy target because you're going to be standing still for a little bit of time whilst you're looking around, and two, if you want to be able to learn how to build fluently and effectively, your movement will be a very key part to do that. So that's it for the movement. Actually, moving on with the movement, actually, for another tip, actually don't move and shoot. If you move and shoot, your accuracy in the game will become very poor, and oftentimes if you're using an assault rifle or an SMG, then your accuracy will be very bad and you won't end up actually hitting your target, which will result in you dying and then you having to restart over again. But the way to counteract this is, if you're using assault rifle, crouch and shoot them, which means your accuracy will be a lot better. Same with these SMGs. With the shotguns you can move and shoot, but you're going to want to learn how to do all the jumping shotgun tricks, all that stuff. If you want a video on that as well, leave a comment down below and I'll get on to doing that. So as on for the next tip, know when to engage and when not to engage in gunfights. Reason being is, if you feel like you have the advantage on an enemy, 9 times out of 10 you probably don't. Unless they're a complete noob and they have no idea what they're doing, then you do have the advantage in most situations, but you need to learn when you can and when you can't engage. So if an enemy is probably over 150 meters away and you've only got an assault rifle, it's not worth taking that shot, because they could have a sniper rifle and they could just shoot you instantly and you could just end up dying. So you need to learn when is the best time to engage. If they're building upwards and you see their base and it's quite weak towards the bottom, you can oftentimes just shoot off the bottom of their base and make them fall down. Either they'll die from fall damage or they'll end up surviving and then they'll be quite low. That would be your best time then to engage, like in a full fight. But definitely learning when to and when not to, just playing a bit more tactical. Then that way you'll actually be able to just learn when is the best time to and when not to actually take gunfights. Another tip I can give you guys is learning the chest spawns. I mentioned in my last video, but learning chest spawns, it's definitely helpful because it will allow you to get loot very early on, and possibly shields, grenades, legendary weapons, especially your epics, maybe even blue assault rifles or blue burst rifles from time to time. But definitely learning the chest spawns are definitely very useful. This would all just come down to just playing the game and landing in different towns and different areas and learning where they'll spawn in, like within the map. So it is definitely worth just over time learning how to actually find where the chests are. Sometimes when you go into a town they won't be in certain places, they'll be in different places, so it just comes down to just playing the game in general and actually learning where they are. So for the next tip, which is going to be a pretty important one, is when you die, don't get mad and try and learn where you went wrong so you can improve upon it for the next time you play. I'll admit there have been times when I've got a bit upset, and when other people who I know have gotten really upset at Fortnite, about to say PUBG there. But yeah, when you get mad, you're going to be flustered, you're going to be all over the place, you're not going to be able to focus properly. So it is honestly the best thing you can do is to keep calm, figure out where you went wrong so you can improve upon it, and then when you go into your next game, hopefully, because you thought about it, you've learned when you went wrong and you can try and improve upon it, you won't then make that same mistake twice. So that is definitely going to be a big thing. So don't get mad if you do die, and if you end up figuring out where you went wrong and you end up doing better next time, then you've improved as a player then. So you've learned from your mistakes, and that's definitely going to be a big thing to helping you guys improve as a player in Fortnite. So the 9th and final tip I can give you guys is honestly just play the game. There have been many times when I've seen people play the game for an hour and then they think, oh, I'm the best player in the world, but in reality they don't know a lot of the tips and tricks, they don't know the basic fundamentals of the game. They've only got a few kills and they think they're amazing. But the more you play the game, the more you can see yourself actually improve as a player, and the more flaws you're going to see in your own gameplay, which you can then take upon the time to actually improve upon and become an even better player then, because you'll have recognised when you know the game. You should hopefully then know some common loot spawns, some chest spawns. Hopefully you should have landed some higher populated areas so you can get a feel for what a lot of gunfights are like, and you can improve from that. But yeah, playing the game definitely one of the key things in improving as a player, because the less you play the game, the less skilled you are going to be compared to other players. So definitely playing the game will be a big factor in getting better as a player in Fortnite Battle Royale. So those are my 9 tips, guys, for improving as a player in Fortnite. If you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like, I would really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, it would help me out a lot. Make sure to click the link down below for the V-Bucks giveaway, which will be happening from now to the 5th of November, so it's going to be on until then. So if you're interested, make sure to click the link down below and follow the instructions on the page. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. If you have any video suggestions or ideas which you want me to do, leave them down below. And yeah, it's been Stokesy, guys. Have a good day.
Yeah, I killed a beat, never asked for forgiveness, cause to me the studio was straight business. Never play around, always going hard. Got these people in America like, oh my god, just stay there. Fucking right, I did, and I got them all tripped up, cause I'm just a kid. But it doesn't even matter, cause I'm always getting ready. They can't even tell I'm 17, they just let away.